Dear viewers, welcome to our channel GVS Bank Academy. Today I am going to discuss about promotional exams, recalled questions, Central Bank of India, Clerk to Officer exam dated 24/1/2021. This is clerical to officer banking related questions. Now these same questions are also important for JAB banking and other bank promotional exams also. Value VAR stands for abbreviation VAR, value at risk. Value at risk used to calculate market risk movements in Treasury Department. Value at risk is used in market risk calculation in the Treasury investments. PFRDA abbreviation stands for Pension Fund Regulatory and Development Authority Act 2013. PFRDA, Pension Fund Regulatory and Development Authority Act 2013. Now, this is the third one is ICAP. ICAP stands for abbreviation Internal Capital Advocacy Assessment Process. This is very important. This is part of pillar number 2, Basel 2, pillar number 2, supervisory review and regulatory process. Under this, ICAP is the main document under pillar number 2, Basel 2, pillar number 2. ICAP, Internal Capital Adequacy Assessment Process. This is a board approved document. After approval of board, this document has to be submitted by the bank to RBI during the first quarter of the financial year. This is a forward-looking document. ICAP stands for whether ration card is a official valid document or not. Ration card is not a official valid document. This is about KYC. Processing of DPG, deferred payment guarantee, is just like to term loan. How we are processing term loan? In the same manner, we have to process the DPG, deferred payment guarantee. But term loan is fund based, DPG is non-fund based, but processing is same. Just like DACR ratio, term loan payments, debt DA ratio, sensitive analysis, etc. You have to calculate. DPG, deferred payment guarantee, is a non-fund based item. Term loan is a fund based, but processing is both are similar. Small enterprise turnover limit as per revised MSME guidelines. Small enterprise means turnover not exceeding 50 crores and investment not exceeding 10 crores. Now they had asked the question, turnover means not exceeding 50 crores. The turnover always or investment you have to see on 31st March of the previous year. Small enterprise turnover does not exceed 50 crore rupees. That is there. ECGC guaranteed advances. What is the risk weight? EC Export Credit Guarantee Corporation guaranteed advances. Risk weight is 20%. ECGC guaranteed advance risk weight is 20%. ECGC guaranteed advance risk weight is 20, minor change, risk weight is 20%. Now, distribution of coins over counter. Distribution of coins over counter. What is the commission banks are getting? Incentive or commission? 25 rupees per bag for distribution of coins over the counter. For each bag, banks are getting a commission incentive 25 rupees per bag. Penalty for non-function of CCTV and non-utilization of note sorting machines in currency sets. Penalty for non-function of CCTV and non-utilization of note sorting machines currency sets. Penalty of 5,000 for each irregularity. For each irregularity 5,000. Penalty will be enhanced to 10,000 in case of repetition. Repetitively they are doing this violation 10,000. So first violation 5,000, then repeatedly they are violating, that is 10,000 in each case. Now this is a new question. Transfer to Deposit Education Awareness Fund, disclosure in the balance sheet. Normally we are talking about DAF, BR Act, Section 26A, unclaimed deposits more than 10 years, rate of interest. Now they are asked a new question. Disclosure in the balance sheet. Whatever the DAF funds transfer, how we are disclosing in the balance sheet. Unclaimed liabilities, where amount due has been transferred to DEF to RBI may be reflected as contingent liability under balance sheet schedule number 12 of the annual financial statement. Banks has to disclose as schedule number 12 contingent liability others in annual financial statement under schedule number 12. Now, in addition to that, they have to start with opening balance of DAF balance plus amount transferred during the current year less amounts reimbursed by DAF towards claims made by the customers. Closing balance is closing balance of amount transferred to DAF on last day of the March in year end. This is the opening balance plus transfers minus amount reimbursed by DAF towards claims is equal to closing balance of amount. This type of disclosure they had asked in balance sheet. So DAF, there must be a disclosure in bank balance sheet under schedule number 12 in the annual financial statements of the banks. And what is the summary? Opening balance plus amount transferred less payments made is equal to closing balance. This is the 11. ATM failed transactions. Customer's account debited but cash not dispensed. ATM failed transactions. Customer account debited but cash not dispensed. Proactive reversal of failed transaction within a maximum period of transaction date plus 5 days. ATM failed transactions, customer account debited but cash not dispensed, cash not issued by the customer, that has to be reversed maximum T plus 5 days. Compensation payable 100 rupees per day for delay beyond T plus 5. Any settlement taken place after T plus 5 for each day, they have to pay compensation 100 rupees to the credit of the account holder. This is the ATM failed transactions. Loan against shares which is in demat form. 20 lakhs margin is 25%. Loan against shares which is in demat form. For individuals we can give loan 20 lakhs margin is 25%. Loan against physical shares maximum we can give loan to individuals 10 lakhs margin is 50%. This is about loan against shares. Limitation period for a bill of exchange payable at site or after site but not at a fixed time. This is very critical and important. Limitation period for a bill of exchange payable at site or after site but not at a fixed time. 3 years when the bill is present. From the date of bill presentation, 3 years. This is a difficult question also. Limitation period for a bill of exchange payable at site or after site but not at a fixed time, 3 years from the date of bill. Bailment of goods, where it is defined. Indian Contract Act section 188. Bailment of goods. 148. What is the meaning of bailment? Bailment is the delivery of goods by the owner of the goods. By one person means owner of the good to another person for some purpose, for loan. Bailment of goods for loan purpose, for any other specific purpose. We can give the bailment of goods by the owner to other person. To the bank also, gold loan. It is a pledge of bailment of gold for the purpose of the loan. Another person, upon a contract that they shall, after payment, after completion of the contract, as per the agreed terms and conditions or agreed purpose, when the purpose is achieved, accomplished, the bailee had to return the goods to the bailer. Bailee is bound to return the goods after achievement of the purpose. It has to be returned to the bailer. This is called bailment of goods. Is the delivery of goods by one person to another person, some delivery of goods for purpose of the loan or some any other specific purpose also. Defined under Indian Contract Act section 148. Current ratio formula. Current assets divided by current liabilities. Current assets receivable within 1 year from the date of balance sheet or one operating cycle, or current assets. Current liabilities means current liabilities payable within 1 year from the balance sheet date or liabilities payable within one operating cycle. This is the current assets by current liabilities. Normally current ratio required is 1.33:1. This is also called as short-term solvency, whether the unit, firm, company is whether in solvency position is there or not, whether they are in a position to repay the current liabilities from its current assets. Prime Minister Employment Generation Program, PMEGP, Prime Minister Employment Generation Program, whether any income criteria is for the borrower, no income criteria. For the first loan or second loan also, there is no income criteria of the borrower for getting a loan from the banks under PMEGP. Question number 17. Procedure for exchange of soiled notes. Procedure for exchange of soiled notes, mutilated notes, imperfect notes. Notes presented in bulk, that is also extension. Persons tendering mutilated notes whose value exceeds 5,000 should be advised to approach nearby currency assessed branch. If anybody is presenting mutilated notes more than 5,000, it is better to advise the customer to approach the currency assessed. Currency assessed branches, even customer can send the notes by post also, insured post also. Currency assessed branches receiving mutilated notes through insured post. Through insured post should credit the exchange value to the accounts of the customer sender by electronic means within 30 days of receipt of notice. So what is there? If any customer is tendering the notes, mutilated notes to the current set through insured post, the amount is going to be credited to the party's account, sender account by electronic means within 30 days. This question they are within how many days the bank has to credit means within 30. This is the question. Within how many days they have to credit means within 30 days of from the date of receipt, the customer has to credit, bank has to credit. CIRP, Corporate Insolvency Resolution Process under IBC code. CIRP, Corporate Insolvency Resolution Process to be ordinarily wrapped up, completed within how many days? That is there. Normally 180 days. CIRP has to be completed normally within 180 days. If it is not completed within 180 days, one extension they will give, that is 90 days. 180 days plus 90 days. Any court delay, inadvertent or inordinate delay, because of course any long delays are taken place, one more extension, that is the last extension for 60 days. Normally, this 60 days extension only NCLT can give in the case of court delays, that is there. So 180 normally, one extension 90 days, 270 days. In any court delays are there, abnormal court delays 60. So overall completion is 330 days. Entire process has to be completed 330 days under IPC code. Drawing power calculation. In cash credit accounts, how we are going to calculate the drawing power in cash credit accounts? Now, you have to take value of stocks as per stock statement submitted by the party. Value of stocks as per stock statement less sundry creditors mentioned in the stock statement. Sundry creditors means credit purchases. Value of stock less sundry creditors, that is credit purchases, then you will get paid stock. You have to calculate paid stock. From paid stock, less margin as per terms of sanction. Paid stock, less margin as per terms of sanction. Normally 25% margin. Paid stock minus margin as per terms of sanction. We can get a drawing power in that CC account. This is a calculation of drawing power in cash credit account. Monthly basis you have to calculate and they have to update in the CC account in CBS platform. This is the drawing power calculation. Dear viewers, these are the 19 questions which are available from this examination. I am uploading it for the benefit of the participants who are going for appear 0 to 1 or other bank examination. These questions are also useful for JAB banking and other banks promotion exams. Thank you very much for